$4,000 Australian, which works out to about 2,100 English pounds. If you told me that 9 months ago before starting, it'd been like, oh yeah, that's the dream. That's so far off. It's you can't sort of. Can you really sell it that price? You sort of don't believe it. It's like, what could possibly be in that 12 weeks, which is going to be worth that price? But you see the other wins, you see other people progressing. It's like, how can I get there? What consistency, growing yourself, doing the training, just follow the plan.
And I can see you light up when you talk about it. It's like,
I love it.
Passion is definitely coming across.
Get up, do the marketing, do the sales. It makes all the other stuff easy. Even the self-development stuff is just like, I need to do that to progress. Just get that sort of mindset where it's like, okay, this is what I need to do. I just feel quite clear on what I need to do to progress. Yeah, it's good feeling. Before this, I was just doing, I had a little like garage gym set up, so I was just doing PT out of there. Charging like $60, which is probably about £35-ish per hour session. In my head, I was like, oh, that's pretty good money, because I could do like 6 or 7, 8 sessions a day. So that's good money, but where do you go with that? And especially being, I knew at some point I'm going to have to leave Sydney. So like, then I've got no business. So it's like, what am I doing? Then I started trying to do some stuff online and try to bring as many people in as you can. They're not committed because they paid such a low price. They're just the wrong client. So you're not really getting any sort of testimonials. You're not making any real progress. You're charging them either week to week or month to month, as opposed to locking them in for that amount of time. There's a lot of hours. It was like a big grind for not really some. It wasn't really like the bigger vision. So $200. So it's $50 a week, which is what, like £25-30 per week. I worked out the number. Like it was okay, an extra monthly thing along with the on-site, online with the PT. It worked out to actually be an okay wage, but it's just not. It's not really. Where do you go with that business? Where's that end up? You could do that forever, which you could make all right money, but it's like for now I'm in this. Now I can see this bigger vision. It's like, oh wow, this now is just literally become a passion. I love it. As opposed to before where it wasn't, it was a job. Before, what was sort of letting me down and making it a bit patchy was just the inconsistency in marketing, the messaging, getting a few people in and be like, oh, that's an all right wage for this month. Okay, I don't really need to push it now.
It's exciting, right? Like, you know, it's not just one 10k month, and that's probably like what, 20k Australian dollars, something like that.
December was about 19k. January was like 23. This month is set for having that 10k English. Beginning this month, I thought, oh, this one might be a bit more of a quiet one because I still need to build other stuff. But it just sort of keeps going. So it's like, oh well, actually no, it's probably gonna be another 10k month. So why slow down if it's moving in the right direction? So I joined June last year, around that sort of time. At the time, I didn't know who I wanted to work with, so I was sort of just aiming for everyone. At that point, I didn't sort of understand the importance of a niche. And as going through the program, working with different clients, both males and females, I sort of realised that I did want to sort of target these sort of older guys that sort of lost their way a little bit. So my niche is sort of 40 to 55, normally 100 kg plus, and they're sort of in these CEO, managing director positions, and they sort of lost their way a little bit. And I just find they're just really good clients to coach. After the niche work, I really didn't get why we would sort of narrow the market down. But in my mind, I was like, oh sure, the more you aim for, the more you're going to get. But as I've sort of gone through that, it's like, okay, if you sort of aim for everyone, you're not going to get anyone. Yeah, I think often we try to throw more at people. If they're not losing weight, okay, let's make the diet harder, let's give them more exercise. But that's not what you need. You need to bring it back and make it achievable for them. Don't overwhelm them. And by having these little breakthroughs on themselves, just letting them have them little goals and little wins, they can hit that and be like, oh, cool, now I can progress that. So whether in week 1, you set them to go for 2 walks for 20 minutes, they might be like, oh, that's not enough. Or even PTs might be like, that's not enough. They need to do more than that. But it's a starting point. They start moving, they start to feel good, they've hit the goal for the week, they come back on the next call feeling good, and then you can then progress from there, as opposed to saying, okay, we're going to go down the gym 4 times a week, you're going to do half-hour treadmill, because chances are maybe they'll come to the next call and be like, yeah, I've done it, when they actually haven't, or they just won't turn up to that next call. So just always make it achievable, have that sort of, just be that listening ear, really sort of listen to what they want as opposed to what you want for them. Now it's just like, yeah, I love it. I love getting up in the morning, looking at everyone's weights and the app and stuff. Yeah, it's just, and I actually enjoy the coaching calls, just seeing the progress, helping them along. Even if someone's had like a bit of a bad week, jump on that call. I actually find it energizes me. It like just really sort of getting into it, helping them for the week. They're set to go, and then by the end of that 3 weeks, just seeing them big transformations, because they're in there for the 12 weeks. If you've got a PT client, week 3 they might not show up, then they go on holiday, you just sort of lose that traction, so you don't really get anywhere with it. You might get the odd good client, but now it's just like majority of the clients coming in are getting these really, really good results. The thought of it, if you said that to me at the beginning, like, no way, it's too much, why would they sort of listen to me? But then sort of going into it and sort of stumbling across a couple of type of clients, it's like they might be really successful in their role, but they're in a place where their health, fitness, all this other stuff isn't where they want it to be, and they definitely do need help. Also, I find that there's a lot of pride in these guys, so they don't want to open up necessarily to maybe their wife, maybe their friends, maybe their team. So when they've actually got an ear listening, really make some ground, really push them in the right direction. They just coach really well, and they seem to lose a lot of weight. They do the coaching models. Yeah, just seems to be the perfect niche. But yeah, prior to this, the thought of me giving advice to like a CEO, managing director of that age would be, I don't know, terrifying. But now it's just sort of the normal. When you first start out, you sort of try. I had a few clients that I sort of half knew, so you sort of build up your confidence with the coaching style, and then as you sort of bring on a few new people, then just sort of, as it started to progress, my clients started to change, and bit by bit the confidence sort of just built with that, so it just sort of naturally fell. Also, the work you do on yourself is just as important as the business side of things, which I never thought that would be the case. I thought, okay, I'm joined us, I need to work out business strategy, I need to learn marketing and sales. That's what I need. Why would I have to work on myself in this? But then quite quickly you realise, like you uncover a lot of stuff and you're like, okay, this is just as important to be able to progress yourself in the business. I think it would be impossible without doing the other work. Every single time, like the price point, I think for me, I had a bit of a money block in my head. Like every time I put the prices up, it's like, oh, that's too expensive, that's too expensive. And obviously Tim and the team and everyone sort of pushing you forward on that price. It's like, okay, go up. Every single time I've gone up, I'm like, this is too much, this is my cap. And then, yeah, it just keeps growing. And then when you then look back to your previous price, you're like, okay, I can see the value of that. That actually seems like a cheap price. So when you get into the sale, when you get to the close, I used to get this real sort of nervous feeling. I could even see it looking back at my sales calls, and by not having that growth that they can see through it, they can see the nerves. So you really do need to work on that to be able to, sell at that price. But it comes quite naturally as you go through the process. And it's great to have the team behind you, in your ear, just pushing you forward. Because I think without that push, I'd have definitely been capped probably at half the price I'm at now. So now I'm like, okay, I'm happy with this price, but who knows what another 6 months of growth will bring in terms of price and everything. And I find when you put that price up, you get the better client. They come in, they're more committed. If they're only paying, I don't know, say £500, whatever, it's easy for them to be like, okay, 3 weeks in, I'm just going to leave that, I'll try something else. But if they're invested, you're more likely to get the results. So you sort of need to charge that higher price to be able to get the results. So not only is it a win for you because you get the money in, it's a win for them because they're making the transformation. And by the end of that, even though that it might seem expensive, they can see the value and they understand why that's the price. It's $4,000 Australian, which works out to about 2,100 English pounds. So that's that's just the 12-week program. So yeah, if you told me that 9 months ago before starting, it'd been like, oh yeah, that's the dream. That's so far off. It's you can't sort of. Can you really sell it that price? You sort of don't believe it. It's like, what could possibly be in that 12 weeks which is going to be worth that price? But then I don't know. You see the other wins. You see other people progress. And it's like, how can I get there? It's just by consistency, growing yourself, doing the training, just follow the plan. You'll get there. I think sort of bringing people in. If you're just trying to work on price, trying to compete with other sort of fit pros, you're just limiting yourself. But by actually getting their pain points, understanding your client, listening to them, you take them through the sales journey. By the end, like, no matter what the price, you're like, I'm in. Like, depending how that call goes, but they're so ready to make the change. You've hit some points that they probably not even realise themselves. So they come saying, oh, I want to lose, say, 10 kg. But then that's what they see as the problem. But as you sort of dig a bit deeper, maybe they come on the call, they're sort of smiling, having a bit of a laugh about it. Then really you dig into why they need to do it, and you really get that depth, and they're like, okay, I need to do this. And then from that point, they're in the program. Instead of just giving like the PT approach where you're giving them an hour, they can lose the weight there and then. That's not what they need. They could have the best PT 5 times a week and still gain weight if their lifestyle, their habits doesn't support that. You're almost giving the value in that hour call, but the work's for the rest of the week, and the value they get from that, and they start seeing the progress both physically and mentally. And by the end of that process, a lot of my clients by sort of week 6, 7, 8, they're like, can I sign up again? They want to come back in. They're like coming towards me with it just because they can see the value, and the journey's taken a turn that they didn't really expect. It's not the standard approach they've used previously where they're just trying to drop the scale super fast. One client in particular I've just been working with for about 5 weeks. Prior to him working with me, for 3 months he was working with PT 3 times a week. Absolutely hated it. He said 4 kg at best. As soon as he stopped in 2 weeks, he put the weight back on. And now we've been working together for 5 weeks. He's lost 8 kg. And he's not been to the gym once, just doing walks, looking at his diet. He's recommended me. It's just a different approach. So it's actually solving the problem rather than just buying time. I sort of set the goal. I was like, I want to hit 10k months English consistently. And I thought, that's quite a big goal. I'm not sure whether I can do that or not. Now I'm sort of hitting that. This will end up being like the 3rd one. And then now I can really see, okay, I've hit that goal. Oh wow, that it can actually go quite a lot higher than this if I can continue doing everything I need to do. In terms of a long business plan, I still need to build up my mastery, so I need to put work into that. And where I'm getting a lot of my clients, they're asking to do more work. I'm seeing there be a point where I'm getting these amazing transformations over sort of, instead of having the 12 weeks, ends up being the 9-month transformation. And then from a marketing point, I can only see that being absolutely huge. So bigger vision, it's just like build out this next part of the program, just get it all right, and just really, really continue to develop myself to be able to continue on this path. Before coming into this, I was talking to my brother, and obviously I said there's obviously an investment. And he was like, oh, you'll be able to figure it out yourself. It's all online now. You'll be able to get all this information. And it's sort of in my head a bit about it. And now looking back, I'm like, I would be nowhere near to where I am now. That sort of mentorship, that coaching guidance to be able to get to where you need to get to is, well, it's just so worth the money. If I could go back, it's like, okay, 100% pay double that. You need this to be able to progress. So yeah, I'd say to progress, you need to invest in yourself. You need to back yourself, even if it is a little bit of a leap from. You might have so at the time I had like quite a good client base in terms of one-to-ones. My online, well, I say business, it wasn't really a business, it was just like online whatever. I felt like it was all going well together because it was a good amount of money, but as long as you need to take that step forward. If you're not going to take that step, you need to really look at it, like, oh, where's the situation going to get me, instead of just sort of living in it. It's like, okay, if I continue to do this, what is the possibilities? Are you happy with that or not? So now I'm in a place where it's okay, what's the possibilities here? It's like, the ceiling's definitely a lot higher.